When did you make your first $1 million?
Great question. I'm going to answer saying I don't know, but I'll tell you a funny story. I was brought up a very humble family, no money, stress. And when I was 29 I met my mentor. I borrowed money. I hired him. It was a lot of money. I didn't have it. I was working in restaurants and stuff. And he was doing a lot of real estate. He showed me what to do. The first year, I did nothing. I was scared, thinking, worrying, analyzing. Don't do that. The second year, I had a moment where I said, maybe I should just do what he's telling me to do. He's very successful. He has a few other students that are doing deals. And I had a moment where I let go of in the head. And I found a money partner. I found some deals. I think going off memory, I'm not sure. The first year I bought 11 properties in Nashville, Tennessee, where I'm from. My goal was to buy one a year for 15 years. So in 15 years, I have 15 properties. Once I got started, and I believe once you get started the right way, everybody's different. Every deal's different. That if you start, things happen, light, God, Hashem, energy, the right people. But when you're thinking and worrying, for me, nothing happened. I bought my first one, then a second one. The second year, I think I did 25 or 30 deals.
Oh, so everything just accelerated
Third year, I think
quickly.
I did almost 100 deals. And at some time, I went to my father. I'm a guy, we're always trying to impress our fathers. And I went to my father and I said, Dad, I have $1 million. I'm a millionaire. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, I have like 30, 40 properties. They're worth about $1.5 million. And the bank lent me $1 million. You know, I had different mortgages, different loans. And he went, dummy. My dad was very smart, very direct. He said, you don't have $1 million. You owe $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had $1 million. I owed it, but I was making money every month. The rents were paying for the real estate and more. And I had like $500,000, $700,000 of real estate, the value less the debt. So the second, third year, I think I had $1 million of real estate. Anytime I sold a house or made like $50, $100, $300,000, it'd be in the bank on Monday. Tuesday, I'd go buy 5 more, 7 more, 3 more, 2 more.
So, what do rich people understand about money that most of the people completely don't see?
That's a great question. What do rich people do differently than everybody else?
Yeah, what they understand,
Yeah, what do they know?
what they know.
And I'll say this, you know, my book, and I'm writing the second part called How Come That Idiot's Rich and I'm Not. So I meet a lot of very successful entrepreneurs who are not that smart, like we would think. Some are. Everybody's different. I think you can do it simply, but here's what I will say. There's very successful, wealthy people I've met. They do a couple things different. They know a few different things. One is they don't have as much fear. Everyone I know, my family, friends, risk. It's too risky. Don't buy real estate. It's risky. You could lose. And there's 2 questions I've asked. What's the risk for doing it? What's the risk for not doing it? Most wealthy people, myself included, successful, we look at the risk for not doing it, not what the risk is for doing it. I think the biggest risk is not getting started, not start investing, not start your own business, not start your book.
How can you explain to a person that says, but it's not logical if I will risk my money? It's a risk. How do you tell me that it's the risk if I'm not do something with my money?
So, first of all, everyone's worried about losing, correct?
Yeah.
But if you keep your money in the bank, whether you have 1,000 shekels, $1 million, you're losing money every year. Inflation, I believe.
Yeah, but then I'm losing money for inflation.
Yeah.
I'm not losing like all my money.
And then the other thing is, don't use all your money. Don't risk all your money. Most entrepreneurs do it. They use other people's money. They raise money. They use the bank's money. Now,
It's like risk money, but in a smart way.
in a smart way, know what you're doing. Reduce the risk. If you go to the casino and just gamble, that's crazy risk. You're going to lose, correct? With a business, you calculate, you know what the risks are. Education reduces risk, knowledge. So one is risk for doing it, risk for not doing it, no fear. Number 2, they've done a study of the most successful people, and this is the one thing they do different. When I was younger and broke, I say, I'm gonna fail. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I'm too busy. I can't do it. I don't know where the houses are. I don't know who to call. We focus on what we don't have. This is the big one. What do successful, wealthy people know? They focus on what resources do I have? Okay, I'm good with people. I'm going to talk to 10 people and find somebody with money. I'm going to find the realtor who has a good deal or the real estate. I have a lot of friends. I know a lot of people in Tel Aviv. I know some people in Miami. What resources do I have that I can use? That's the biggest difference studies show between successful and unsuccessful people. Everyone listening, watching has resources. They're good with people, numbers, they're good at analysis, they have connections, they have more connections than they think, they're on social media, but they're not thinking that, oh, I can't get started, it's too hard. Yes, you
Okay,
can.
but let's be honest.
Tachlis.
Can anyone truly become rich from real estate? Like anyone?
So I'll say this two ways. The answer is absolutely not. Why? Most people in business and real estate do nothing and make nothing. I was that way for over a year. I had a mentor. He showed me what to do. I saw it being done. He showed me ABC, Aleph Bet Gimel. And what did I do? Worried, thought, analyze, fear. So most people won't get started. They won't do it. They won't stick with it. They quit. Now, could anyone do it if they really, really, really want to do it and are willing to work? And here's the most important part. I always use this example. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. Everyone, or almost everyone in my city, is a musician, very famous for country music, Taylor Swift. I don't play guitar. Now, let's say, forget about investing, rich, millionaire, real estate. I say, listen, my fingers are a little fat. I don't play guitar, but I'm going to learn how to play guitar and I'm going to play and practice until I can play these 10 songs perfectly. Could take a year, could take 10 years. I'm not going to quit until I'm successful. And I get a teacher, I go to the video, I'm practicing every day, my fingers are bleeding, I keep practicing. If I say that and say, I'm not going to quit, no matter what, until I can play those 10 songs well, what do you think my chance of success would be?
To be a
Now,
good, for sure it will work.
the chances are almost 100%. Would you agree?
Yeah.
But most people never say that. They're not committed. I want to try some real estate. They try for 3 weeks, they quit.
Yeah. We
And
have a kind of related question.
yeah, great questions, by the way, making me think.
Yeah, there are many interesting questions from the
Your
community.
community's smart.
Yeah. For a typical family in Israel with 3 kids, real estate is extremely expensive and taxes take a huge part of their salary. Is it realistically possible for them to become wealthy, to buy a lot of real estate? What is your number one piece of advice for that kind of family?
So first of all, I have to say, I've been to about 100 countries. Israel is the most unique country in the world, right?
Very unique.
Now let's get tachlis and deep. So I'm not an expert on taxes or even Tel Aviv real estate, but here I think 60 to 80% of the real estate's controlled by the government, correct? They still have a lot of the land. It's very regulated, highly regulated, very expensive. To me, Tel Aviv and Israel is one of the most expensive places in the world. And I've been in New York, San Francisco, Sydney, Vancouver, Canada is one of the most expensive real estate markets. It's crazy here. Very limited supply, a lot of demand for an Israeli. Food's very expensive. Now, what's interesting, every country I go to, including Israel, everyone complains about taxes. They say, no, America, the taxes are horrible. Israel, worse taxes. They're actually about the same, believe it or not. In America, we have a 30 to 60% tax rate. Same as Israel, right? About. Correct?
Yeah, I think it depends if you're an
Yeah, well,
employee or you have a business, but
30 to 60%,
Mhm.
correct? If, low, maybe
Yeah.
a little lower, it's about the same, very similar tax situation. By the way, you only pay tax when you make money. So I tell everybody, you should want to pay 5 million shekels a week in taxes. That means you're making 30 million shekels or 20 million, right? Same with dollars. So is it realistic? What got me into real estate is I saw my mentor and other people because I thought it was impossible. I have no money, that it's an expensive market, it's taxes, all these reasons not to do it. And then I saw people that were like me doing it. So I said, if they can do it, maybe I can do it. We have almost 3,000 students in Israel, Project X, and they all say the same thing the first day. How am I going to buy property in America? I don't have the money. I don't have credit. My English is not so good. It's 8,000 miles away.
But when people have a family and many children, they felt like they can't do a big moves.
Right. We have Haredi people in projects have 12 children, 15 children, 9 children,
Wow.
which to me, I'm like, I want to take your seminar. I have one kid. I don't know how you do it. Like, they're the best time managers in the world. Now watch this. If you're busy and you're working, you have kids, and you know how much money, it's tough. Life can be tough. I've been there. I've had no money. I've never had more than one kid. But here's the thing. Don't say I can't do it. Don't say I'm not going to do it. Be honest with yourself. It's not a priority. When you make the $1 million or you make the real estate investing or you make the guitar playing a priority, right? I'm going to make it happen. I'll have 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week. I'll focus. That's how I started. Most of our people are full-time. They have kids.
The priority for finding a way
Making it happen.
yeah.
And listen, those that have children, you don't say to the crying baby, listen, I'm really busy. I'm not going to give the baby food today. I'm busy. A mother, usually, hopefully the father too, makes the baby a priority, right? You feed your baby, you clean your baby, you take care of your baby. You don't say, I'm too busy. Let the baby cry for 3 days. At first, you'd probably go to jail. It'd be horrible. But people don't make themselves their priorities a priority. We all have the same amount of 24 hours.
But people feel like they do have this priority. They just have to work every morning, go to work, come back to their children, and their life is just going on.
I was working 2 jobs when I started real estate. I was working 80 hours a week, 2 restaurant jobs. I had no time. And I told my mentor, I said, listen, I can't do real estate. I have no money. I have no credit. And I'm working 80, 85 hours a week at the restaurant, going nowhere. I don't have time. He said, you're right. I said, I'm a guy. The women don't understand this. I love to be right. Ego. I call ego easing God out. And my mentor is very tough. He said, you're right. I said, thank you. He goes, whatever you think, you're right. He said, ask the right question. I said, there is no question. I can't do it. I have no time. I'm too busy. I'm stressed. He said, ask the question, how can I? I said, I can't. He said, well, if you can't even ask the question, how are you going to get the answer? I said, okay, how can I do real estate? He goes, great question. He says, do you have 2 or 3 hours a week? I said, not really. I said, Wednesday, I remember I had a Wednesday from 3 to 5, 2 hours free in between the jobs, between the lunch job and the dinner job. He said, okay, 2 hours. He said, I said, Sunday I have 1 or 2 hours. He said, okay, that's all I need. If you'll focus those 3 or 4 hours every week, looking for deals, looking for money, you can be successful. I said, no, I can't. I'm too busy. He said, yes, you can. That's why I started. Priority. Everyone has an extra hour or 2 a day. By the way, you know Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Crazy. He called me a few months ago. I have no idea why.
Oh, wow.
But here's why I'm bringing that up. This guy, I feel like a complete loser sometimes. I have my real estate business. You're on TV. You have your real estate. I know a little bit about you. This guy's running the biggest car company, the biggest space company, the tunnel company. He has Starlink. Then he worked for the president. I'm like, wait a minute. How does this guy have time to do any of this? Run 3 or 4 big companies. And I think he's got
he has like 10 children.
no, I think it's like 15, maybe 20. They all live in a compound. They're all the wives and women or whatever. How does he do it? He does it, right? And I'm looking at me going, I'm doing nothing. I'm writing a few books. I have a few real estate businesses. I'm doing this and that. I don't feel like a loser, but, and again, how does he do it? We all have the same amount of time. How do some people run businesses, have lots of kids? Other people don't do anything. It's priorities.
Actually, it's interesting because it's
Time
connected to
management.
the next question. What have you learned from billionaires who are richer than you?
Okay. So I'll use one example. You may have heard of him. I did maybe 8 to 12 2-day, 3-day conferences with Donald Trump, now President Trump, for years. And I got to spend some time with him, and I learned a lot. Now, whether he was at the time a billionaire or not, pretty close. When I was telling people 100 million, 400 million, a billion, what's the difference?
Yeah.
And I learned a great lesson one day. First of all, my mother said, never talk about people unless you know them personally. People always go, what was Donald Trump like? I said, with me, he was so nice. One-on-one, very personable, very friendly, very intelligent. I never saw him racist. I never saw him disrespectful. He says some interesting things. I don't do politics. He was always nice to me. One day I'm with President Trump, then Donald Trump. Backstage, we're talking. And my phone rings. I learned something from him. And I'll tell you the other billionaires. I have a course, what I've learned from some of the most successful people. I'll give you 3 of them real fast. I'm backstage with Donald Trump. My phone rings. I said, excuse me, Donald, I got to take this call. He looks at me with his look. And it was a call about nothing. I talked 2 minutes, says thanks. And he goes, Shaman, with his Donald Trump voice. I said, what, Donald? He goes, you don't make enough money. I said, what do you mean, Donald? He goes, "You don't make enough money, trust me." I said, "What do you mean? I'm maybe not in your category, but things are good." He goes, "When you make enough money, you never answer your phone." And I went, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Focus on the big things. Get someone to answer the phone for you." And I'm like, "Wait a minute. That's really interesting." And whatever you like him or don't like him, he's very wealthy, very successful. He is one of the best time managers I've ever seen. And he told me, whatever time you give someone to do the job or yourself, that's how much time you'll take. I said, "What do you mean?" He told me this story. I don't know if it's true or not. He said when he did The Apprentice, the TV show, which was a big hit, he told the producers something like, "You've got 30 minutes." They're like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I'll come in at 30 minutes. You have everything ready. I sit down and I do the show. If you can't get in 30 minutes, too bad, I have other business." And they did it. When you were in school or I was in school and they gave you 2 weeks to do the paper, when did you start? Me, the morning of the last day.
Yeah.
If you give people 2 days, same with yourself. So now all my meetings, thanks to Donald Trump, are 15 minutes. Next thing, Bruce Springsteen. I've gotten to know him and work with him, a big rock star. When he goes to a concert, he's the CEO running a big business. He just sold his music for $500 million. When he goes, he's the first one there and the last one to leave, and he checks on everything. There's a big rock star, has 300 people working for him, at the concert. He walks around, makes sure the lights are good, the sound is good. I'm like, "Why would you do that?" He goes, "This is my music. It's my concert. It's my business. I have to watch everything."
It's not kind of opposite of what Donald Trump said, that you need to let everyone do the things for you?
Well, one day, he may not remember this. I was at a building with Donald Trump. He's building some big building, like 30, 20 stories in New York somewhere. And we're standing out there. And I was amazed. Donald Trump looks up and goes, "Look, the balcony on 22 over there, something's wrong. It's off a little. The color's wrong." Details. So when I do a speech, I'm the first one there, the last one out. So there's a balance. Build a team. Don't do busy work, but it's your business. If something good happens, I'm 100% responsible. If something bad happens, which it does, I'm 100% responsible. I can't blame the contractor. I can't blame my assistant. I hired them. So there's that balance between, yes, get a team, use your time well, but also details. Every Wednesday, we look at every bank account, every business, make sure we understand what's going on, coming in, going out. If you don't, you will be surprised. We check on people. So there's a balance.
Interesting. What is the single best country to invest in real estate right now?
I know the best country to invest in for real estate. Are you ready? You're not going to like the answer. So I tell people the best country, the best city to buy real estate in is where people buy and sell houses, if you like houses, and where people rent houses. So I've done deals in 6, 7 countries, many different cities. I do a deal,
But
correct?
you do choose somehow the countries and the cities.
A little
It's
bit.
like people buying houses everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, but there is some
Now,
places it's better to do
We
the
have students and myself. I've done deals in Nicaragua, Costa Rica, grab people, students in Greece and Portugal, killing it. Somebody in Tel Aviv, which is a very competitive market, is making money in real estate. Maybe somebody's losing money if they don't know what they're doing. So I will say this. America and Dubai probably have some of the most open public records. You can find out what the property sold for, what they bought for, what the mortgage is. Dubai has pretty open things. United States has, I do 95% United States. Number two, it's a giant market, 5 to 6 million about residential, not commercial, homes sold. Number three, financing. So I live in Medellin, Colombia. I do some deals there, very difficult. The real estate's going up. It's safe. There's no public market. You can't go on the computer and see who owns what, who's selling, what the price. And there's really no financing. It's very hard to get a loan. In America, foreigners can get a loan. There's other countries that are the same. So it really depends what you're looking for. So I look for public record and that I could find what the properties are worth, what the comparables are, what the rents are, who owns it, who's selling it. Is it an open information? In America, you get lists of foreclosures, divorce, what they bought it for, what they sold it for, what the loan is. Press a button, they'll show you what the property's worth. So, and then financing, because I like to use other people's money for real estate. So can I get a loan? And yes, as a foreigner, you get a loan. As a resident, you get a loan. In U.S., Dubai, in many cases also, and other countries.
Interesting. What's the smarter move? To buy a home to live in or to buy an investment property? In Israel, we like to buy our home.
That's a great question. So here's what I say. You have to live somewhere, correct? Everyone's got to live somewhere. So why not make money on it? Okay. First, I separate where I live and I separate my investing. It's like business and personal. So listen, personal, you want a nice house, maybe you have kids, you want a nice school, you want to be nice neighbors, a park. You have to know what you like. But I'm an investor, so if I'm going to buy a house, why not make money? So every or pretty much every house I've bought or buy or live in, I do creative financing. I get owner financing or a lease with an option. I buy it below market. So if it's worth $1 million, I try to get it for 800. If it's worth 3 million, I try to get it for 2.2. I find highly motivated sellers not easy to do. Most people won't do it. So I live there, but if I want to move or sell it, I can make money instantly. I bought it below market, or I can rent it, Airbnb it, and make money. And I live for free a lot. People don't realize that. Not all the time, but in the past, I had a condo in Miami. I had owner financing, lease option. I paid X amount per month. Sometimes I would travel or go to the beach and I would Airbnb it. If I Airbnb like 5, 6, 7, 8, as an example, every property is different. If I Airbnb it, I live for free. They paid all the expenses, the mortgage, taxes, insurance. If I had a lease with an option, they'd pay it. I could make a profit. Make sense? So
But it's
wherever I
not more
live,
complicated to find properties where you also want to be there?
why not? I do penthouses in Miami and I do giant penthouses in Medellin, Colombia, whatever you like.
Hmm.
I did beautiful homes, homes by the beach, and I found great deals. Not easy to do. Most people won't do it, but I did it. And my house is like the best investment. I can live there. I have automatic equity. I can rent it and live for free, or I can move and sell it and make money. But if you pay full price, you can't do it. So even if you're renting, get a rent to own option. So you have a right to buy it. You're not throwing your rent money away. Some of the rent goes towards credit. So I tell people, separate. Live where you want to live, but why not make it profitable? And then focus on the properties. And the reason people say I have to decide because they come from scarcity. I don't have enough money. I can only buy one house, correct? And I say your thinking is what we call stinking thinking. It's not correct. Most entrepreneurs in Israel and America, you have to learn, if you want to, you don't have to, other people's money. So my investing, I didn't have money or credit to start with. I found investors. I used their money. That's what my mentor taught me. That's what I still do, even though I have money now sometimes and credit sometimes, depending on which week you catch me. I use other investors. So there's more real estate than money. There's more deals than money. There's more deals than time. But people say, I have a limited time, I can't do it. I have limited money, I can't do it. That's a false thinking.
Interesting. What do you think about investing in raw land?
Okay, raw land. And I want to say this. If you, when I got into investing, I was very OCD, what do you call it? Crazy, paranoid. I interviewed about 100 tenants before I bought a rental property. And I interviewed about 80 to 100 investors before I bought a property. And I'll never forget, I'd ask each other, what's the best thing? Land, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, apartment buildings, hotels. And everybody told me something different. One guy said, land is the best. You buy it, hold it for 10 years, you make a fortune, rezone it. Next, I said, land, you don't make any money. I buy a 3-bedroom house, my mentor. People live in it. You can always rent it. You can sell it. Even the market's down, you can always rent it or sell it for something. Next guy says, no, 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 no. I do apartment buildings, 50, 100 units. It's bigger. You have more money. You can have a maintenance guy there. It's a concentration. You can finance it easier. Next guy says, no, no, that's stupid. Only do hotels. You rent it by the night. If they don't pay you, throw them out, or you can make more cash flow. Everybody does it different. It all works. Now to answer your question, raw land. My mentor said the first day I met him, it's in English, a joke. I'll say it. He said, Bobby, that's what he called me. He said, the 2 best businesses in the world, buy whiskey by the bottle and sell it by the shot. Buy land by the acre or hectare or dunam and sell it by the lot. It's a great business buying land, rezoning it, and selling it in pieces if you know what you're doing, correct? Most people don't. It's a great business. I've done a little bit of that. However, it takes time. Here in Israel, it could take a lot of time, and depending on what city or state you're in. And I don't like raw land that much. It's a great investment. Don't say Robert said it's not a good investment. It works, but you have to wait. It doesn't make money. That's why I've always focused on houses, buildings, apartment buildings, some hotels. If you buy it right, the money's coming every month. You can fix it and sell it. And of course, when you sell
Yeah,
it, you
for
make
most of the
money.
people, you have to wait a lot of time and the cash flow is bad.
Yeah. Now, I know a lot of wealthy people that what's called land banking. And if you have a lot of money and you have a lot of time, it can be a great business, buying land and holding it, correct? Another great business, and a lot of wealthy people are doing this. I grew up on a farm. Farms can be great businesses. I have friends from Israel who have avocado and dairy farms in Colombia and Costa Rica and America. And the cows are paying for the land. The avocados are paying for the land. They're making cash.
Interesting, but they have to travel there and to be there, it's like a business.
Well, that's what you think. I know people that they get a manager, videos. By the way, my friend from Israel, genius. Everything, the cow has a tag and everything is on an iPad.
Oh.
So he sits in his penthouse and watches the farm on his iPad. How many cows, how much milk, how much avocado. He has
So
a
they're like
manager.
living in Israel and just controlling
Yeah,
everything
they go
from
every now and
here.
then. You build a team. Again, that's another
But it's
myth.
more like a business, not like a real estate.
Correct. But so it's funny. I don't drink alcohol. Maybe a glass of wine on Rosh Hashanah a little bit, but I really don't drink. And then my partner and I in Colombia have liquor bars. She and her family know how to run them, and the liquor, the drinks, pay for the real estate. We make money, good money, but they manage it. I don't manage it. I don't go there. I mean, I've been just to see it. But that's the other myth, that you have to run and manage everything. Hire a manager. I'm staying in Herzliya Patuach at the Publica. It's a Marriott hotel. I met Mr. Marriott. He's not at the Publica cleaning the floor, taking my money, washing the windows. He's in Washington, D.C., running a big company. He hired manager, team. So write this down. System, team, whether it's a farm, hotel, real estate, land. You can do it yourself or have a real system that works, checklist, and get a team to run it for you. I use system team.
When do you start to write the system for the business?
So I tell all my students, I tell myself, I tell you, do your research, educate yourself, get a mentor, somebody, learn the business, and act like you're McDonald's, like you're going to hire people, run it like a business, write everything down. So if you come to my office in Medellin, Colombia, or Miami, where I'm sometimes, everybody that works with me has a notebook. It says, when the tenant calls, say this, just like McDonald's. When the contractor calls, say this. When you look at a house, ask, why are you selling? What's it worth? What are the repairs? What can I get it for? Checklist, system, script, like an actor. So if I leave or I don't want to work, you can come in, sit there, and run the business from the notebooks. Everything is checklist system.
But the business of McDonald's is it's every day it's the same. Sometimes they maybe adjust something, but in another businesses, it's not like that.
Yes and no. So this month, I'm looking at a $140 million real estate development in Cleveland, Ohio. It's buying a university with some friends and converting it. I have a house in Tennessee right now for sale. I'm doing some new construction. I'm working on a hotel. I just sold a hotel in another state. I was involved in a hotel in Puerto Rico. To me, it's the same business. I'm calling on sellers every day. Same business. Hello, my name's Robert. I'm an investor. I found your number. You're selling your property. How are you? Tell me about yourself, relationship. Hey, why are you selling? I'm looking for motivation. Hey, what do you think the property's worth in today's market? Why? Do you have any comparables? Hey, what are the repairs? Do you have any pictures? What do you think the number is? What can I buy it for? If I want to rent it, what do you think the rents are? I don't know. Okay, I'll find out. Same. It's been the same for 20 years.
Interesting. I think that maybe you also answered us this question. Have you ever had to kick out someone who was renting a house from you, and how that had felt?
How about the questions, have I ever not kicked anybody out? So when I got into rental property, real estate, I thought everyone's like me. Biggest mistake in business. Hey, people pay the rent. They'll be pretty nice, correct? No, 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 no. In America, you have to screen them. You have to watch them. Then they get on drugs. They get divorced. They get in fights. They invite their friend over who tears the place up. It's a lot of work, even in the high end. I do high-end Airbnb of 2,000 a night, 1,500 a night, even worse. Like not just poor people, middle class, every type of property. I've had everything happen. I've had people shoot each other. I've had fires. I've had tornadoes. Now let's go to the bad news first. It's Israel, the Tachlis. We have insurance. I don't want anyone hurt. When there's a tornado, a fire, a hurricane, insurance, we're okay. We probably make more money than we should. So let's just get that word out of the way. Number two, my mother said something. I love my mother. She said something very interesting. She goes, if you don't have problem with your children, you don't have enough children. I say, if you don't have problem in business, you don't have enough business. You know, if you have one property and the tenant pays the rent every month and she's there for 2 years and she doesn't tear anything up, you don't have enough business. You have no problems. That's like a miracle, right? So in any business, you got problems. The question is, how do you deal with it? We screen the tenant. We check with 3 previous landlords, 3. We do a credit criminal check on everybody in the house, not just the mother, the father. It's always the boyfriend. We inspect our houses every month. We have in our lease, got to know the law. We're going to come in the second Tuesday of the month. We send somebody. I used to go myself, but I'm not there. And they look and they'll see, oh my God, these people have a car in the living room. They're dealing drugs. There's 20 people living here. I've had all those things happen. I had someone doing car repair in the house. I had a car in the living room.
Wow.
Motorcycle repair. I've had a prostitution ring with 30 women sitting in the house waiting to, drug dealers with scales and cameras and guns. But if you don't inspect, you won't know. So we have systems to reduce the problems. There's always a problem. Now, I rent in states. In America, it's 50 states, like countries. So certain states, and every law is different. Get your own attorney. I'm just talking in general here. So, for instance, in New York, parts of New York City or San Francisco or LA, it could take a year or 2 to evict somebody. I don't do business there. I don't have the patience or the money. I don't want to have an apartment for 8 months where they don't pay the rent and they go to court. By the way, I'm a part owner of a condo in New York. My partner violated rule number 1. We can't discriminate. You must know the laws. Don't rent to attorneys. We ran into an attorney and he's playing the courts. He's been there like 9 months paying no rent. It's a bad laws. Certain states, Republican, southern states, generally, very easy to evict somebody. 30 days, if you know what you're doing, you get them out. So you have to know your laws, know the risk. Make sense?
You don't feel like a bad person when you're doing something like that?
So it's business, and I tell people, separate charity, which I love, tzedakah, from business. Separate family from business. You can do business with your family, but family's family, business is business. Separate. Separate your friends from business. I used to say, oh, my friends to work, and I give them all jobs. They did nothing. Now we're not friends anymore. Now we have no business together. Business is business, friends and friends. I went to AM/PM, the store yesterday. I bought some Foozy tea and some nuts. And I can't tell them, you know what? I'll come back in 2 weeks and I'll pay you for the Foozy tea. Our rents, we give a discount. We don't charge late fees. Where legal, know your laws. So let's say the rent's $1,000, example, in a cheap place in Memphis. We say the rent's $1,100, $1,100. If you pay on the first, you get a $100 discount. It's $1,000. People like discounts better than penalties. Where legal, every city and state's different. Our rent's due on the first, late on the 5th, and we evict on the 7th or 10th where legal. If you wait to evict to throw them out, you're hurting them and hurting yourself. It's business. Now, we have a sheet of paper to help them out. A lot of people don't know this. I'm a good property manager. When they call and say, I'm sorry, I can't pay the rent, we have a letter. We've heard all the reasons why you can't pay the rent. Check which one applies to you. I lost my job. I'm sick. My boyfriend took the money. I lost the money. I'm gambling. I'm drinking, whatever. Then we help people. That's very important. We're not here to take, someone's listening to Robert going, oh my God, he's throwing the people out. He's mean. He's horrible. We're actually really nice people. We want to help people. I want to help sellers. I want to help buyers. I want to help my renters. We have a sheet of paper. We say, if you can't pay the rent, call the mayor's office. They have a fund to help you pay the rent sometimes. Call your local church. The churches will help you with the rent. There's different clubs, as an example, the boys club, the girls club, this group. There's charities and foundations. If you call them, they'll help you with the rent. They'll also give you financial consulting. And so we want to help people. We're not here just to be mean. And so we always think of the problem and think of the solution, reduce the risk. I hope that helps.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
What's your honest opinion about Bitcoin?
Bitcoin? Great question. So I do not own any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency right now. I'm a big believer in a blockchain.
So much believer that you don't own any.
Well, I'll tell you why. But I now, that's being said, I'm a nice Jewish boy. I like free coins. You like free?
Yeah.
So what I do is I'm right now helping start a company called InvestBlock, and I'm the real estate division. We're going to do real world assets backed by an NFT, a coin, a token. So instead of saying, hey, Lena, let's start an LLC and you put it 100,000, I put 100,000, we own 50% of the stock and we own this building. We can do it through NFT, through tokens, correct? And so now I'm getting paid to do real estate deals with them, which will make money. The people will have a coin or token backed by real world assets. They'll make a nice return, we hope. Then the coin or NFT will be on a market. So if they don't want it, they can sell it. And they can get in for a lot less than 100,000, a million. They can maybe a few $100s buy a coin or whatever. So I like getting free coins, trading my value for the coins.
That's interesting. And I think that the cryptocurrency and everything related to real estate will have really tight connection.
It's coming together.
It will take
It's
time.
a great way to own, but it's got to be safe and secure. And a lot of the exchanges are not safe or secure. We have experts. My partner has a whole team with the technical. So let me say my opinion about Bitcoin. First of all, I've had a lot of friends make a lot of money with the crypto. I've had a lot of friends lose a lot of money with the crypto, right? The only thing that I don't like about it is I'm a big believer in it. It's the future, but I don't speculate. I buy real estate below market. I know the numbers going in. Anything can happen. There's risk. The only thing I don't like about Bitcoins, and by the way, I've also done in the past wholesale diamonds, they're what I call a false market. This is something people don't think about. First of all, as I know it, a lot of people that own Bitcoin, it's not trading. They hold it. Now, when I go to the stock market and look up Apple stock, Waze, IBM, I know the price. It's trading, correct? But in Bitcoin and diamonds, there's people that are holding 50, 70, 80% of the Bitcoins and diamonds. They're not on the market. If they put all the Bitcoins on the market or all the diamonds on the market, what would happen tomorrow?
Yeah.
I do believe that, I don't know why still to this day, we all have this phone here, why I can't go buy everything with Bitcoin. Why no, everyone's not using it. And I think it'll happen soon. I hope so. And then it'll be a different story. Also, some of the governments like Trump, they say they like Bitcoin now. He has his own coin. But a lot of governments don't like it because who's using it? Criminals, they're not paying taxes, they're hiding the money. So how is the government going to deal with that? I don't know. It's a risk. You have to become an expert in one or two or three things. And I've chosen not to become an expert, although right now I'm learning about coins, tokens, NFTs, real world assets. And I think that is the future. It's here already.
What was the most profitable deal you've ever done in your life?
Wow. That's a really good question. I'm not allowed to mention names. Crazy story. I would never do a big deal over like $100,000, $200,000 in Nashville. And many, many years ago, somebody called me, and that's the other thing. When you get started and really buy or invest or sell in real estate or whatever you're in, people start calling you. They hear about you, and business gets better. It gets easier, right? When you're starting out, no one calls you because they don't know you. And one day I get a call, and my mentor just said, Robert, you can do bigger deals like hotels and apartments. I was like, what? That's scary. It's too many zeros, because a zero means nothing. Somebody called me and said, hey, you're Robert Shemin. I said, yeah. They said, I hear you're in Nashville doing real estate. I said, yeah, I do real estate. They go, can you help us? I said, how can I help you? I always like to help people. He said, we want to buy a hotel, a pretty well-known hotel. And he's like, can you help us buy it? And I'm like, I'm not a realtor. I'm not that, I don't do hotels. I'm thinking no. And then Roberto said, maybe, why not? And he goes, listen, we want to buy this hotel and here's the price. I said, could you put that in writing, everything in writing, that you'll go through me and you want to pay this for the hotel? And again, most real estate deals are not like this. This is an example. Most people would never do this. I have to say that legally. So the hotel was a famous hotel. And I literally looked in the phone book back then and I called the hotel. I got the front desk and I said, I need to speak to the owner. And they go, what's this about? And I said, it's a personal matter about the ownership of the hotel. And whoever on the front desk said, hold on, one of the owners is in the back right now. This guy gets on the phone. I said, listen, my name's Robert. I do some real estate here in Nashville. How are you? I said, I have an associate, everyone's my associate, that would like to buy your hotel. And he's like, you serious? And he goes, yeah. And I said, I need a price. He goes, well, what are they offering? I said, no. Tell me what your best offer is, no negotiation. He said, really interesting. Our partners just had a meeting. 2 of the partners want to sell, 1 doesn't. And here's our price. And it was a lot of money less than what they offered, over $1 million. Now, at that time, I'd never done a deal of more than 100,000. And I'm talking the profit was over $1 million. And I said, could you put that to me in writing? And they talked to their lawyer and they wrote, we will sell to Robert Shemin, his associate, for X. I had the letter, a contract that will buy for X minus almost $1 million. I called my lawyer and said, can you put this together and make them close it? And like 60 to 90 days, they closed it. I'm guessing, I don't remember very well. And this is a very unique deal. It'll probably never happen to anybody. I probably spent 7 hours on it, maybe 10. And I made a lot of money.
Wow, amazing.
The most money I ever made in real estate at that point was I had 30-something properties destroyed by tornadoes. And I fixed them. The insurance company said, we're going to pay you this. I hired what's called a public adjuster who understands insurance contracts, and they only get 20% of what they got me above. And they literally increased, I don't remember exactly, my payment by 5 times. I made a lot of money from the insurance on the tornadoes. Now, that's not the way you want to make money. Thank God nobody got hurt. It took a while. And right now, I'm going to find out tomorrow, we're helping someone move $1 billion with the B dollars into a bank and doing some financing. Right now, I got out of Dubai. It's not closed yet. Nothing's closed till it's closed. I have a $14 million and $100 million deal that I'm putting together. I'm in the middle. It's real estate. And if it closes, I make a lot of money. And it's just connections.
Sounds like to be the middleman is the best thing to do. It's the best business.
Again, I put people together, and anybody could do this. I mean, I talk to a lot of people, ask what they're doing, how they can help. It's funny that 2 of the people I'm dealing with, I've known them on the phone for 10 years, never met them. I like them. And just kind of by accident, just by talking to people. And people say, well, that's only you're Robert Shemin. And not really. I just talk to a lot of people and ask, how can I help them? Some guy goes, I need some money. I have this company. I'm looking for money. Somebody in Dubai said, I have somebody. I'm like, oh, and just like a shidduch, like, like with your friends. Hey, we're going to dinner. I don't know, let me find a good restaurant. Oh, here's a good restaurant. You put it together. Except it could be 100,000 shekels, could be $1 million, could be 10 million, could be $1 billion. What's funny is the bigger deals sometimes are easier for some people than the little ones.
Yeah, that's right. I feel it too. Because I also connected to people and I get to know many people and talking to many people. And I see those deals that from nowhere coming and you have the option to connect. And it's sometimes easier than other things.
Every day, and these go to answer the first 3 questions about, I don't have time. How do you do this? How do you get started? When I was driving over here, I love Tel Aviv. It's one of the best cities in the world. I'm looking at the mall across the street. I'm looking at this big building. I'm looking at the big development. I went to the bathroom in this building and they're redoing the floors here, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, these buildings in Tel Aviv, I'm guessing $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, some of them, maybe more, 50 million. I mean, they're big buildings. Somebody bought it, built it, fixed it, sold it, financed it. And those people are not that different than you and me. They just are doing bigger buildings. And instead of 5,000 shekels or 50,000 shekels, it's 50 million shekels or 500 million shekels, correct? And what's the difference?
Interesting. what's your typical day looks like?
There is no typical day. Now, I have a lot of people that work for me, both in the charities and the real estate. And if you ask them, they'll say, "Oh, I know what Robert does. He talks on the phone and eats lunch." They literally, they think that's all I do. I'm on the Zoom or the call, doing deals, building businesses. I do everything virtual, mostly from Medellin. I do travel. And I usually plan a lunch with somebody every day. Someone I want to meet or do business with, or I'm interested in. My mentor taught me that, just invite people to lunch. Now, my typical day is I wake up every day at 5 to 5:30. I grew up on a farm, sometimes 4:30. I pray, study, and meditate for an hour to 2 hours every day. I go to the gym almost every day. I have a trainer. Even here, I'll go. And then like 7, 8 o'clock, I'm on the phones. And by the way, like you, I'm sure you're international, Israel, maybe America, maybe Europe, correct? You have guests, me, and I'm on the phone and I love what I do. And then I take an hour or two break in the middle of the day, lunch, rest a little bit, take a little nap, a siesta, and the afternoon. And then usually most afternoons or evenings, I block my time and I do charity stuff. So I block the work and the charity. My day is never the same. I've been on a nonstop speaking tour for 15 or 20 years, but I'm here in Israel, and tonight I'll be on the phone running my business at 10, 11, 12 o'clock. But I love it. And I do have a team, and I don't like taking too much time off. To me, every day's a vacation. When you do what you love and love what you do, you're not working. Make sense? And I do try to do 60, 80% regular business, 20% new, bigger business, new company, new adventure, new, like higher level.
Interesting. Okay,
Hope
so
that answers the question.
yeah, so let's have our last question. Does being wealthy actually make you a happier person?
Absolutely not. So what is
Why, Robert? But it is.
No, let's talk. So what does wealthy mean? To me, when I grew up, wealthy means money. I got a big house, I got a lot of money in the bank, and it's the weirdest thing. Money is a magnifier. If you're unhappy and you have a lot of money, you'll think it'll make you happy. It'll probably make you unhappier. If you're a jerk, having a bad attitude, and you have a lot of money, you can be a bigger jerk. Correct? I really do believe money is a magnifier.
But even if somebody is a jerk and he have more money, can afford the best doctor, the best clothes, the best things around him.
So money is just a thing. It's an energy. And I like it because it allows you to do things. Correct? I like to travel a lot, and I travel nice. So money is able to travel. I live in a very nice house. I have other houses, whatever you're into, correct? But I know a lot of people that have a lot of money that are very unhappy, very stressed. And I tell people, what is wealth? To me, it's four things. To be truly wealthy there's four main categories. One, money. We'll talk about that. 0 to 10. The first 30 years I was a 0 or a 1, correct? I had no money. But relationships. I've always had good relationships, happy family, friends, kid, whatever. Then I call spiritual, religious life, whatever it is or isn't, whatever you believe in. Most people don't have any. Some have 10, but they don't have any money or any relationships. And then there's what I call health. So a lot of people in America are very wealthy. Some may be a little spiritual, and they're very unhealthy. I know people that go to the gym 2 hours a day. They're super healthy, amazing shape, but they have no money, no relationships. To me, to be truly wealthy is to be grateful for what you have, to be happy. There's no number. I know people that have nothing that are happy and they're super wealthy. I know people that have 10 houses and $100 million, miserable. They're not wealthy. And then are you satisfied? So every day I wake up, I'm grateful for what I have. I'm satisfied. And what I do is I do a lot of charity work, mainly with homeless children in Medellin, Colombia, and South America. We do some here in Israel. Also work with pregnant women on the street, homeless people. I was homeless at one time. And I'm like everybody. I think I have problems sometimes. And then I go out usually Wednesday night, sometimes on Sunday. We actually go out with the charity, feeding the people, giving the kids packages of food and clothes and helping them get off the street. And all of a sudden, all my problems go away.
Oh,
It's,
interesting.
huh? We all think we have problems. Some people have problems, health, war, somebody's sick, money. But I believe if you're grateful for what you have and you're focused on helping others, most of the problems go in perspective. Make
Amazing.
sense?
Yes. Thank you, Robert Chemin.
Yeah.
It was
And
a pleasure.
I judge my wealth by how many people I can help. I know you're helping a lot of people, educating, teaching, mentoring, TV shows, helping
But
them.
it's not correlated. You say that you think about how many people you can help, but you see people who are, yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right. Because when you do a lot of businesses, even if it's a lot of real estate, you're helping many people to have their place to live.
Even with the real estate, with the sellers, we're here to help. We're not here to steal their house. We're here to help them get out of a problem, fix problems. And everybody, we're helping the contractors. We give them work. We're helping the realtors. We give them commissions. Where people think, oh, we're mean. I thought rich people were mean. They're just taking and abusing. It's attitude. It's intention. And Project X, most of us, we're not perfect. Our intention is to help people and spread light and create businesses. And we're creating affordable housing, which Israel needs, America needs. And we're creating jobs, and you have to enjoy it. It's a choice. And wealth is a choice. If you're grateful for what you have, you're wealthy.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, we will add also the details about Project X. And thank you so much for coming. We will do a spoiler that you're writing another book, or we can't tell it right now.
Yeah, I'm almost finished. I'm trying to finish in a week.
You have an amazing bestseller. How is that idiot is rich and I'm not?
It sounds funny in Ivrit. In English, it's how come that idiot's rich and I'm not?
Yeah.
And the follow-up, it's part 2. It's much deeper, much more tachlis, is how come that idiot's really rich and I'm not? And by the way, it's not just money. It's just not real estate. It's also how to be spiritually, religiously happy, rules of success.
I'm waiting for it. Thank you so much.
I'll send you a free copy.
יש משהו שמטריד אותי. בערך 80% מהמאזינים הקבועים והחוזרים שלנו לא מנויים לערוץ. ויש לי בקשה אישית. אם אתם נהנים ממה שקורה כאן ורוצים לתמוך, אז הדרך הכי קלה, הכי פשוטה, היא בחינם. לעשות את זה, זה פשוט ללחוץ על כפתור הסאבסקרייב, לעשות מנוי לערוץ. אז בבקשה מכם, ותודה רבה רבה, מעריכה כל אחד ואחת.